And we are live, and welcome everyone to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm Widow's son, and with me is one of my illustrious co-hosts, Mr. Turd Ferguson, aka Justin. And yes, it is very early in the morning, but not being able to sleep right now, I figured since I wasn't able to get an actual show in today, which I'll explain in just a few moments, I may as well just go ahead and see if who's awake and feels like just chewing the proverbial fat, as it were. So we decided to go ahead and get started late slash early, I guess you could say. TF, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just been kind of had a weird couple of days as far as my sleep schedule is concerned, and but other than that, pretty good. Still doing the DDP yoga workouts.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I still have got to look into that, like the prices of it and everything. Because go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
I was gonna say you can do the app for $8 a month, or you can just go ahead and get the first set of DVDs. I think they're like maybe $50 or $60.
Right.
And there's enough there to keep you going.
Well, the reason that I mean, obviously, well, okay. So the reason about the lateness of the show, to all those who are going to be listening in the future, and Justin, if you can try to pop into the live chat for me, so I can actually make you a mod.
Yeah. Where do I go to do that?
Just go to the channel and then click the video.
Okay.
Make sure you mute it though, because you'll get the echo.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, what happened was obviously I was supposed
Justin, if you can. Whoops! There we go. Okay, now you're muted.
Okay. So obviously today say something in the chat. So today I was supposed to work, and for the last 3 days I have been in some incredible pain. And so, all right, there you go. You are now a mod on the channel. Okay. So, and our other illustrious guest is here. Hello, Mistress.
Sup, bitches?
You give me this big ass bottle, babe?
Yes. Apparently, we have suddenly become her bitches. So
yeah.
But no. So I was supposed to work tonight or today, and for the last 3 days, I have just been in uncontrollably crazy pain at some point. So, and it's all due to this crappy desk chair that I sit in when I do the show, and it's broken. And finally, it just had enough, and it just decided that it was going to just give me what for, in a way. And so here I am thinking I have possibly a kidney or a bladder infection, and I go to the doctor today, and turns out I have a strained muscle in my back. So they gave me a steroid pack and a muscle relaxer, and they gave me today off for me to be able to take the muscle relaxer, because I haven't had anything for pain in 3 days. And I start the steroid pack in the morning. Oh my God, are you crying?
No, I have allergies.
Oh, I thought you were either crying or like taking a bump or something.
No. You would know. You would know if I was doing that.
Why? Because you would be more loud and obnoxious. Is that how that goes?
Maybe. You never know.
So yeah, I ended up with a strained muscle in my back, and I was telling I was telling my mom earlier that I honestly what I've thought about doing is taking this broken desk chair, taking it outside and lighting it on fire, and if my back felt better, I just dance around it like a wild Indian. Like just turn on like a Ted Nugent compilation and just dance around it with a bow and arrow in my hand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ted Nugent used to fly around in that loincloth, so I mean, you'd be
Yeah.
in company.
Well, Ted Nugent used to do a lot of things that were interesting but entertaining, and then he started opening his mouth into politics.
I mean, I like where he stands with gun rights. I mean,
Well,
VH1, they asked him where if he had a permit, and he goes, "I do. It's called the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution."
well, honestly, I just wish that he would do his music and just shut his mouth. To be perfectly honest with you.
A lot of celebrities should kind of do that, though.
Yeah, especially Tom Cruise and the Scientology group.
Save me with your Scientology.
Hi, would you like a personality assessment? Yeah, I have a psychiatrist that takes care of that for me. Thanks. Because
I would just say, yeah, I'm a douche.
like I believe in psychiatry and everything like that. Just because you're not smart enough to understand that gentlemen who came hundreds of years before you actually did a lot of good in the world. Well, Freud is kind of questionable at times, but I still respect him. But yeah, save me, Tom Cruise, from the evil Scientology. Oh wait,
from the Thetans, they got to protect you from the Thetans.
Yeah, and what's his name?
L. Ron Hubbard.
No, the evil alien overlord. Xenu, that's it. Save me from Xenu, Tom Cruise.
Well, I was thinking of Talladega Nights when he gets out of the burning car. He's like, "Save me, Tom Cruise, with your Scientology."
Save me, Buddha. Save me, God. Save me, Tom Cruise. Bobby, you're not on fire.
Shake it, bake it, I hope.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. TF, I gotta say, man, that avatar suits you so well.
Oh.
Dude, come on. You have to admit that you couldn't go by that name and not use that image.
Oh, of course not.
I'm not a huge Norm Macdonald fan, but that was one of his best moments right there.
Oh yeah, it was like, what was it? When you're an appetite. Pardon my French.
His Weekend Update though wasn't really that great. I always liked Kevin Leland, or what was his name?
Kevin Nealon.
Yeah, I always liked him because he used to get he'd always have the best segments with like Chris Farley and Adam Sandler and all of those guys.
I miss Chris Farley.
Yeah, I do too, man. Him and Jim Belushi. I mean, we got a few great movies from Jim Belushi, and then poof, he was gone. I think I was watching something a while back, and I think I may have this wrong, but and Justin, if you
call me turd.
Well, yeah, turd. I know that, but because you are one. Can you fact check me on this? But I believe that Jim Belushi actually got asked for one of the roles in Ghostbusters. I think he was that,
So,
or I think he may have been gone at that point.
I mean, Jim Belushi or John Belushi?
Either one.
Oh, yeah. John Belushi was signed on to play Peter Venkman.
Oh, and then
The role eventually went to Bill Murray.
well, no offense to Jim Belushi, but
No. It was John Belushi. They wanted.
oh, John, oh, yeah, because Jim had died at that point.
You mean John had died, not Jim?
Or John, yeah, John had died at that point. Is that? But yeah, they did. Yeah, they made the right choice because you can't have that role without Bill Murray. Bill Murray's attitude and demeanor and everything throughout that whole role in those two movies is just, it's spot on. It's exactly what those movies needed. And every single one of those characters was cast perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the new one that's supposed to come out next month.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, like the original cast is signed on for this one.
Then I could probably get behind that, but
Right. Well, no, even Bill Murray, and he was highly against it for the longest time.
But the problem is Harold Ramis definitely won't be in it.
Well, of course not. I mean, and that's the bad part about it is, but I think they want to do this one because of that absolute piece of garbage that I have refused to watch. But I watched. There's a channel here on YouTube called Cinema Sins, and I don't know if either one of you have heard of it or watched it, but I highly recommend it because this guy will go through any movie ever made. He'll show like clips of the movie enough to to where it's okay to use it, and then he points out exactly what's wrong. And he did that to that absolute hunk of garbage that they tried to convince us was a Ghostbuster movie, and just rips it to shreds. And that is the only way that I have ever had any interaction with that piece of toxic sludge. So I have nothing against female actresses and female roles, but whoever made that movie, how dare you soil the Ghostbuster franchise with that piece of garbage? Absolute garbage. The Ghostbuster franchise and universe is very sacred to a lot of us. And that right there to me was just a slap in the face. Because I have been a humongous Ghostbusters fan ever since I was a kid. And I was watching the cartoons and getting the toys here and there. And I'd watch the movies. I've watched the movies so many times I can quote them verbatim. But yes, whoever made that movie should just burn in the darkest, most sludge-filled portion of hell. I mean, so this one coming out in July, and Ivan Reitman's son is the one who's directing it. So you know that his dad is also going to be having a little hand in it, behind the scenes. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this one because I want to see, especially with the original cast, I want to see what they can do. I want to see what they've got. So the one in July, I'm going to give a shot. It'd be like the first time I've been to the movies in God, I don't know how many years. Because let's face it, they're just putting out garbage. I have honestly not heard of one movie in probably maybe the last 2 years that I've just had to see.
well, that's because they're making just remakes of stuff.
Well,
Ruining
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and now we're getting live action Disney movies. Go freaking figure. Man, okay, now I will admit Beauty and the Beast wasn't bad, but when they start getting into things like Mulan and Aladdin and The Lion King, no. No, 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 no. And especially Aladdin, because you can't. The Will Smith is the genie. That was the main reason why I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Because I'm like, that character was created for one person and one person only, and it should have been left alone.
I heard that Will Smith was really nervous about it too.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, if Disney had any common sense in its head, it wouldn't be touching these classic animated movies, because you can still find them and buy them. But instead of putting out live action remakes, why not let this generation watch them the way they were intended? Because that's why they were made.
I guess they feel like they have to try to like modernize themselves when they really don't. I don't know. Running out of ideas, maybe.
TF, you're quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. When you look at Hollywood, they've got a history of doing remakes. It's just kind of like we focus on it so much in our own day and time because we see it, and a lot of the movies we grew up with are getting remade. But there have been classics upon classics that have been remade, and it's just kind of like an easy formula for Hollywood to go, oh wait, here's a way to make money. And I think for me the bigger issue is there are good movie ideas out there. There are people who are writing scripts every day, but
to me, I think Disney's just out to make. I think Disney's just out to make more money.
Of course they are. I mean, Disney has a monopoly on the entertainment industry.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's why
they're buying everything.
Yeah, they bought Pixar and they bought Star Wars and they bought
Fox. They bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, and see, Disney is becoming the Brondo Corporation. Think about it.
Well, and one of the things that kind of is bothering me, really seeing the direction Disney's headed is, so Disney does not like to have, and like any company would, if we were head of a company, we would not want that company having its own movies competing against each other, right?
Well, see, they bought. Well, see, when they bought Marvel and DC, didn't they, or was it just Marvel?
Marvel. DC is still owned by Warner Brothers.
Okay, they bought Marvel, and they're putting out, like, did we really need like 2 Avengers movies within like 2 years of each other?
Yes, we did. Because because I'm a huge fan of the MCU for one, but also Kevin Feige had this all planned from the beginning. I mean, he had kind of like an outline of where he wanted to go, and they wanted to. Now, granted, it wasn't like as fleshed out as it completely was, as it wound up being, but they did have a plan that each Avengers movie everything was going to set up and tie into this big story where you had everything centered around the Infinity Stones, and so because you see that in all the post-credit scenes, and with the introduction of the first Iron Man, I don't know if I can't remember if they had the Infinity Stones mentioned there, but that kind of kicked open the whole Avengers initiative. That then led to them doing all those movies that tied into the first Avengers movie, which did have the Time Stone in it, or not Time Stone, but the Space Stone, the Tesseract. And when you start, for me, like when I looked at it, and I was like, that was really cool the way they did that. I really liked what Marvel was doing, but you can definitely tell that there's a difference from when Disney started footing the bill for the movies versus when Disney wasn't, because there were certain things that were said in the first movie the first sets of movies, like Phase 1. I can't remember which phase Disney bought them, but you can definitely tell like the language got not as bad, and it really wasn't that bad to begin with. But the line where Loki called Black Widow a mewling quim, that would never have made it under Disney's watch. So there are certain things that Disney has done that to me just doesn't sit well. But there's also another problem I have with Disney doing this is every studio does not want movies of their own competing with each other. It makes sense. But when you had all these different companies like that were having to compete for the attention of the theaters, you had many more releases coming out, which is why we got a Deadpool movie within 2 years of each other, 2 Deadpool movies within that time frame. And now
they need to sell Deadpool to Ryan Reynolds and let him have it.
Well, they won't do it because they would have to sell a whole bunch of characters along with it. So what they're trying to do is somehow tie Deadpool into the MCU, but what they're really wanting to do is have Deadpool be his own thing, and then he kind of pokes his head in to some of the MCU stuff, but he's got a cleaned up mouth, which to me, it would be funnier if they had, every time he goes to say something, like say some curse word, a little big like Disney logo pops up over his mouth or something, which would kind of be Deadpoolish. Or he holds up a Disney sign so none of the kids hear him actually cursing. But the thing I was going to get to with this though is with Disney now owning so much movie real estate, they don't want any movies competing with each other, and so that means movies that we would have gotten from Fox that would have competed directly with some of the Disney movies will not be released at that time. So basically now we're going to have to wait longer to see more of any of those movies.
Well, I just think that they need to like keep their grubby little paws off of everything because they're just turning it into shit. Like I've heard that they want to remake Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Well, dude, they're trying to buy out Comcast.
That's not going to happen if Comcast is smart.
Well, it's not Comcast because if the stockholders want it, they're going to get it, unless the Federal Trade Commission steps in, and it'll be the Federal Trade Commission that stops it. Because I mean that right there would be they would be too big. Who could compete against them? You would have a provider of entertainment as well as a provider to the means of entertainment. And with Donald Trump steamrolling over the not fairness doctrine, but steamrolling over the what was that law that he net neutrality? Once he basically scrapped that whole thing, we're screwed because that would open the floodgates for a company like Disney to purchase Comcast and then to favor only their stuff. And they would do it in a heart.
Well, my whole thing is, I just think coming up, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. But anyway, I digress. So, Miss Razzmatazz, you got quiet on us.
I was just listening. I mean, the only thing I really have to input that is, I just like the memes where they call Alien a Disney princess now.
I really think that okay, like
What?
Well, where did Turd go?
I scared him away.
How dare you? Why would you do
How
such a
dare
thing?
I do what I want.
Yes, how dare it's you're in my world now, Toots.
Oh, really now?
You are in my world now. What was
I
that
just
from?
hijacked it.
What was that in from Dust Till Dawn? And Selma Hayek says like, "Welcome to slavery."
Since we're on the subject of Disney, it actually kind of reminded me of Princess and the Frog when the Facilier or whatever, he's just like, "You're in my world now." Since we're on the subject.
Well, see, the one thing that I think that they should do is start digging back a little bit further, because if you dig back a little bit further into cinema history and all of these great underground, like old, okay, he was dropped, he's getting back on, probably taking a minute. So they have all these great old horror movies from like the black and white ones, like the original Last House on the Left, and well, Last House on the Left. Okay, the original was done by Wes Craven. I apologize, but no, there's the house at Dead End Street, and the house next to the graveyard, and Don't Go in the Basement, and and I'm sure that these are being remade underground, but just do them right. Just do them right. Like the the Troll series. I don't know if you ever heard of Troll and Troll 2. But
I mean, the problem with that is, though, I mean, look at the state of horror movies now. They're going to start remaking things, and they're ruining the horror genre, really. I mean, there's not really anything that's coming out that's worth anything.
That's why I stick to, like, I can't tell you, like, I wanted to see The Nun. I started watching it, and I started watching it on this app, and I fell asleep, and I never got to finish it. I wanted to see that. The first Annabelle was good. Hang on a second. Oh, he had to reset his router, so he'll pop back in when once that comes back up.
Okay.
But no, I mean they've ruined the horror genre. Like, I haven't seen The Three from Hell yet. That last Rob Zombie. Was it good? Was it? That's a yes or no question.
I don't want to insult Mr. Zombie because I do so love him, but
his solo career is garbage.
I was thoroughly disappointed.
In his solo career or the movie?
In the movie.
His solo career is awful. He puts out the same record multiple times every few years to remind people that it was done. He has literally run Hellbilly Deluxe into the ground. Now I am not going to sit here and say that album doesn't have its moments for proper situations, and that's all I'll say about that. But well, no, because my mom likes to listen sometimes. And it's my show. I can do, what I want, but still I try to keep some things PG, because I know that she's going to listen at some point. So you shut your lips.
It's hard for me to do PG. I don't know why you got me in here.
You don't have to do PG like all the time, but there are just some things. But anyway, for those certain special moments, let's just put it that way. But yeah, he puts out that record so many times is like ooh, here's the triple deluxe platinum edition with two versions of the album, one in English and one in Japanese, and like 17 pages of unseen cover art and a DVD of the recording of the album and the strange, weird, evil escapades that took place while it was being recorded, and find out why he won't like stop making this record and get White Zombie back together.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm back. My internet just crapped out.
It's because Comcast heard you talking shit.
Well, that's the problem. I'm not on Comcast. I'm on AT&T now.
Well, AT&T and Xfinity are probably like in bed together, so they heard you talking shit. But anyway, no, we were just discussing. I was saying how Rob Zombie's solo career is absolute garbage, and he puts out the same record multiple times every few years. He's run Hellbilly Deluxe into the ground so much that, you know, every time you hear one of those songs, unless you haven't heard it within like the last 5 or 6 years, it's all right to just let it play if it comes on the radio or a mix, like on YouTube or something. But don't just go out of your way to listen to it.
Man, I sing Dragula at karaoke.
Lord, dude, you should be singing like White Zombie's More Human Than Human.
Never heard it.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh my god, I was about to lose it.
TF, I'm gonna have to put you on timeout for that one.
Oh gosh, it's like my childhood all over again.
But like my whole thing on that is
your punishment's over. Now that hurt me way more than it hurt you. Okay.
That wasn't much of a timeout.
Now you say you're sorry.
I'm sorry, Dad.
That's right. Now next time I'm gonna hand you over to Miss Razz over there. She will turn you into her whipping boy.
I will.
Well, what type of whips do you like to use?
Oh, God.
You know, I did race and break horses for many years, so I do so like the riding crop. But I'll work with what I got.
Okay, cool. Well, as long as you don't stick anything up my butt, we're good.
Don't let him lie to you. That's his favorite thing in the world, and he knows it. He gets all these random hot chicks to come over to his place, and just he tells them to slip him the finger.
I mean, if that were true, I would at least be like, well, at least I have hot chicks coming over. But you know,
what great justification!
Well, it's like how I deny
it's like,
it.
hey, they're sticking a finger up my butt, but at least I got hot chicks coming to my house.
I mean, you know, that's where the male G-spot is. So.
Yeah, got to stimulate that prostate. Huh?
Yeah, I mean that's how they milk the prostate on like.
I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that.
If you milk your fair share.
No, you two sound like the expert.
No, I've never stuck a finger up a man's butt.
I was about to say, you sound like you've slipped a finger or two in your day.
No. Funny story, actually, though. One of my evil brother's friends had a really big thing for me, and he thought that was like a turn on for me. So he actually went into a big discussion on that. No, not really. So.
Wow. Was there alcohol involved in this conversation?
No, he was just really weird.
Were you and him the only ones having the conversation?
No, he would hit on me in front of everybody.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Oh,
it's like, hey, it's like, hey, I really think you're cute. You want to come back to my place and slip a finger in my butt?
I mean, I could tell you really terrible stories. I mean, you know a little bit about my brother, so you know about the whole thing where he tried to sell me to his friends. You know,
Yeah.
have I told you about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those friends. He actually he offered to buy me.
Oh my gosh.
You should have told him that you don't have enough money. You should have been like, I am priceless, so just go the fuck away.
Well, I would say that, but I actually, when I was a little kid, I was in Home Depot one day, and with no barcode, no nothing on me. I was being a little stupid kid, and I ran my like wrist over the scanner, and it said I was worth like $250. So
like $250 or $2?
No, $2.50. Okay.
Oh gosh, that's $1 less than $3.50.
I need about $3.50.
I said the last wants to know you can't have no $3.50. Chef's parents, man.
I bid $5.
Well, it's higher than what Home Depot values me at, so.
Okay, you talked
cool.
me into it. I bid $20.
Well, my brother did try to sell me for $500, so I mean, I think you'd have to top that since you did say it was priceless.
I'll get back to you. But no,
Did I make things awkward? I'm
no,
sorry.
No. So yeah, Rob Zombie's solo career is garbage.
Oh, back to what I was saying on that. My whole thought on that is like, he doesn't really strike me. He doesn't really strike me as the person that tries to stay relevant, and I think at the same time he doesn't give a crap. But like on the other hand, it's kind of him trying to stay relevant, just releasing the same album over and over again.
It's garbage.
You know what I mean?
Well,
yes, that is garbage.
He's focusing more on his films, and his films, like the first one I ever saw, I was like, okay, this is kind of messed up.
House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects were awesome. Lords of Salem was great. 31 was great. I still haven't seen 3 from Hell yet.
I really don't want to disappoint you, and I'm not going to tell you don't watch it because that's up to interpretation of the person. But I was angry.
Are you playing with a taser?
No, I got a tape measure here. Huh.
Oh,
I was about to be like, don't tase me, bro.
I wish I had a taser because I'd be testing it out right now on my leg just to see how bad it would be.
Don't let her fool you. She likes to be tased.
Maybe. Makes you feel alive.
Have y'all seen that video? Speaking of tasers, have y'all seen that video of the? No, there are 2 of them. That I'm going to mention. One of them is there are these soldiers with the Air Force, or these airmen and airwomen with the Air Force, and they're going through the taser training, and they go to tase this woman, and she, of course, she had the same reaction everybody does. Your muscles clench up. Well, she grabbed whatever she could and wound up like grabbing this dude's crotch and just squeezing. And you just see them, like, everybody else just loses it. They just fall over laughing, except for that poor guy.
I'm pretty sure that he's now impotent.
But there's another one where they go to shoot the cops. In order for a cop to use a taser or pepper spray, they have to get tased or pepper sprayed.
Mm-hmm.
And this one cop, they went to go tase him, and one of the prongs went straight to his chest, and the other went straight to his crotch. And when they hit, you just hear this high pitch, and the guy falls over.
Oh no, the if you ever go back and watch some of those old Chris Hansen To Catch a Predators when the cops were involved, there were a few times they actually had to use the taser on some of these guys, and there was one I can't remember where it was, but he took off running through the house. They hit him with a taser, and you could just hear him screaming like a little girl. Man, I mean, it was. I mean, he was just like, stop tasing me.
See,
But anyway, so definitely don't disappoint me on Three from Hell because I do want to see it. Um, like I said, Corpses and Devil's Rejects and 31 and Lords of Salem were great. His Halloween movies were way too long, way overthought. And I mean,
I liked what he did. I liked what he did with the first Halloween. I still haven't seen the second one yet.
They're too long.
The first one was okay.
No, the newest one that had Jamie Lee Curtis back in it was great.
Oh, that one was good.
I'm ready for the second one. I when I found out that she was coming back for this one, I had to see it because because she's the cornerstone of that, one of the cornerstones of that franchise.
Oh yeah. She's a very good actress, but I've also heard that she's an insufferable asshole.
She was good in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of celebrities are, insufferable individuals to deal with because it's like they all have this big ego.
Yeah, or they're batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Mel Gibson.
Tom Cruise.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
basically anyone, any celebrity that. Did you know that Juliette Lewis is a Scientologist?
Yep.
I found that very strange.
That one guy from that Sony show. What was his name? The one with the afro.
Oh, yeah, the guy who played Hyde.
Yeah, he was a Scientologist. He actually left it.
Yeah. Have you guys watched The Ranch on Netflix?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh God.
Danny Masterson, that's the guy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Think of the ranch. Let me describe the ranch to you this way. It's Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson, and they bring in cameos from a lot of that 70s show cast in this show, and it's got Sam Elliott in it, and it's hilarious. It's basically a version of that 70s show set in modern times on a ranch, and it has Sam Elliott. I mean, come on.
I've heard the dude who played Fez has pulled some no-nos.
Well, we know that happens on a regular basis, pretty much anywhere. So
True.
when I didn't hear from you, I figured I'm just like, oh, she's probably done went and seduced her husband now, so I probably won't hear from him.
I am the seducer in the relationship. So.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Nice.
She seduces me all the time. It's just this thing.
It's not like I try.
I know. I mean, she just gets around, and that voice comes on, and it's just like a siren. She's the siren, and I'm the guy driving the boat, and I'm just going to crash into the rocks. There we go.
Okay.
That's how I lure him in.
So
Yeah,
I've got that Air Force video pulled up. If y'all want to see it, mind if I share my screen?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Hang on. I've got to set it.
All right. We have to click share audio.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, hang on.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, wait. There we go.
Are we good? Man, please show me your hands.
No.
Please show me your hands now.
No.
Taser.
That poor guy.
That man was limping away in shame.
Thank God for fair usage.
And that poor guy. I mean, golly, because like the military, if you know anything about the military, that's like the worst place for something like that to happen because the way everybody reacts is like you don't get any sympathy.
Hey,
Pick it
Raz,
up and move on, soldier.
right? Hey, Raz, look, you're in the middle of a turd sandwich.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh gosh, can't believe we were talking about the election earlier. I can't believe we're about to have another giant douche and turd sandwich election.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
So I don't like either side either.
Yeah, Bernie was my guy.
Well, I say we all move to Scotland so we can all hang out with Stu Dog.
Right? Go bug Stu. Get locked in the bathroom together.
we all move to Scotland and go hang out with Stu, and then we like hop the ferry every once in a while and go visit Hat Man.
Don't forget Professor. He's in there too.
And Mr. G.
Yeah.
Just be like, gang's all here. Let's play.
And maybe you can find your long lost love, Lady D.
Stop it. The world does not need to know that.
What?
Shut up. Shut up.
You love the Lady Domingos.
Yes, I happen to be very intrigued by Lady Damocles.
There's Lady Damocles.
She is another person who is...
Okay, hang on. Because it is fair use. Turd, I want you to set up a screen share. Actually, hang on, let me.
Okay, yeah.
If it'll work properly.
It should. You can actually share a specific Chrome tab.
Which one should I show him?
Ooh. She's got a few good ones where she's getting really snarky and really sassy.
God, I can't believe it's been like 6 months, no, longer. Good Lord, she hasn't posted in a while.
She did say that she was going to back out a little bit and only come in when she really felt she needed to. She gets pretty snarky in like the DN ones. I don't know if you want to get him involved in all this shit.
Oh, please do. It sounds too juicy to pass up.
No. You'll have to look that up on your own. I'll go with an oldie but a goodie.
Let's talk about it after the show so that way y'all can catch me up to speak on some of that.
Yeah. I'll go with an oldie but a goodie. We'll go back to our friend Mr. Genesis.
She does get pretty good in those too.
Oh, Justin, she goes to town on Mr. Jared, son. Let me tell you. All right, hang on.
Just as a fair warning, it's not her actual voice; it's a robotic voice because she has to protect her identity for her job. I think it is. But I mean, you could tell like she's just a snarky woman. Like I love it.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Good evening. This is Lady Damocles.
And
Can you hear
welcome
it?
once again to Alpha Genesis, the second dumbest man on YouTube after FaZe Creamarina, or FaZe Swampert, or FaZe Blastoise, or whatever he calls himself. Maybe just FaZe Pedophile.
So, hilarious stuff, guys. Little Chrissy boy, little Chris, the 30-year-old boomer, got triggered on my Twitch yesterday with his little Nazi friend. I don't know how to say his name. Alistair, gay shit. His Nazi lover.
Am I the only one who hears Jared call someone triggered and immediately think he's lying? Jared, just because someone calls you out for your lies and delusions does not make them triggered. I don't know what this person or his friend said.
Can you see it okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Do you think I am triggered? Do you think Hatman is triggered by you? No, we are not. I do not care about your trolls. Mostly because I...
Do what?
There's an echo.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me mute my mic. I forgot about that.
Good evening. This is Lady Damocles. And welcome, once again, to Alpha Genesis, the second dumbest man on YouTube, after FaZe Creamarina, or FaZe Swampert, or FaZe Blastoise, or whatever he calls himself, maybe just FaZe Pedophile.
So, hilarious stuff, guys. Little Chrissy boy, little Chris, the 30-year-old boomer, got triggered on my Twitch yesterday with his little Nazi friend. I don't know how to say his name, Alistair, or some gay shit. His Nazi lover.
Am I the only one who hears Jared call someone triggered and immediately think he's lying? Jared, just because someone calls you out for your lies and delusions does not make them triggered. I don't know what this Chris person or his friend said, but do you think I am triggered? Do you think Hatman is triggered by you? No, we are not. I do not care about your trolls, mostly because I am not trolling you. I am commenting on your videos and critiquing your performance and attitude. If you can't handle criticism, that is your problem.
I can tell my trolls are dying off now, and it's about damn time.
The only reason your trolls are dying off is because you and your ass-kissing mods are blocking literally anyone who doesn't feed your ego.
The thing is, guys, they know they're helpless. When you're confident in yourself and you don't let anything stop you, trolls have nothing on you, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, all they can do is just send little words at you, attack you with words. That's all they can do, bro.
I won't disagree, you are confident in yourself, but your confidence is misguided and completely unjustified. Narcissism and self-delusion is a more accurate description for you, and yet you keep responding with your own videos, laced with deceit. So I ask you, Jared, who is truly triggered? I have noted that you have not responded to me. You have also not responded to Hatman. And I think the reason for that is clear. You're afraid? You are probably more afraid of Hatman than you are of myself. I suspect you would simply dismiss me as another emotional female. That would be your mistake. However, I would happily see you engage with Hatman instead.
Of course, they send me empty threats, but it means absolutely nothing to me because I know what kinds of cowards they are. People who are just internet warriors. That's all they are, bro.
How ironic that you call other people internet warriors and cowards, when you and your deluded fans block any comments that are not completely supportive of you. If you want to see a coward and an internet warrior, look in any reflective surface.
And these people are Nazis. I deal with a lot of Nazis. Unfortunately, there's some Nazi scum here on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? People who just are complete degenerates. And it makes me laugh how they call me a degenerate. You know what I mean? People who worship Adolf Hitler. You know what I'm saying? The biggest beta male of all.
There are some Nazis on YouTube, and I'm glad you have a basic understanding that Hitler worship would be a sign of it. Not always, but at least you have learned something.
He's gotten so desperate that he is basically labeling me an SJW now because he doesn't know how else to come at me.
You are certainly not a social justice warrior. You repeatedly make homophobic slurs towards people. You mock people with disabilities, such as using autism as an insult aimed at your critics. You may be a sad jumbo-sized huanka, but that's the closest you'll get to SJW.
His little gay friend, I don't really know Alistair at all. Just some nobody. I think he's some trailer trash. Lives in a trailer park, same typical Nazi, probably works at Walmart.
Is his little gay friend out and openly gay, or is that an assumption by you? If it's your assumption, does that mean we can assume you have something against gays? But I don't understand why you would criticize him living in a trailer when you live in what looks like your parents' garage. You also don't have a job and spend all day on your large rear end, frequently in just your underwear, talking to people on the internet. And with the evidence seen already, you believe several of those people are teenage girls who need to see pictures of your rather unimpressive cock.
But I don't let losers like they think that I do, but I don't. I just block their comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got mods who are just constantly blocking their comments, but they got so triggered.
I do know what you're saying, because you and your mods block all comments that don't agree with you. Even when those comments are fair and reasonable, because you simply cannot handle criticism. You respond by video to people who you know cannot reply on your channel comments. That in itself is evidence that it is in fact you who are triggered. And your deluded fans, not having the sense to step outside the echo chamber, take you at your word. So again, you are a coward.
These are grown men obsessing over another guy. It's just, I mean, number one, it's gay. But number two, it's just outright sad.
You are also obsessing. You've already blocked them, and others. Yet, you keep responding. Assuming they are being obsessive, can you honestly tell me that you aren't obsessing over them in return? Number one, again using the term gay intending an insult. Perhaps it's time you admit that you are in fact homophobic. Number two, it's no sadder than a pot-bellied 30-something man, hiding in his parents' spare room, claiming to be an alpha male when physically and behaviorally, he is absolutely not.
My best advice to Chris and your little, autistic brigade is just...
And there we are with the autism insult. Really, Jared, all that's missing at the moment is some racial slurs.
Grow up and get a life. Stop living your life so much in hate, because obviously that's put you in shackles. And the only one that's dancing is you. I have complete power over you to where I make you devote your life to me. I mean, guys, you got to be real. Like that's the biggest jerk you could ever give me. Okay, I'm just being real. 100. Don't do that. If you don't want to give me power, then don't do that.
Are you sure about that? Because no one is devoting their life to you. Perhaps your parents are, but no one else is. You might think they are because people are calling you out for your narcissistic behavior, your sexist attitude, your inappropriate behavior to underage girls, but that isn't the case. You cannot see that, however, because your ego is so fragile and you exist day to day by deluding yourself. That's why you claim to be an alpha male. Despite being fat, despite having no achievements in your life, despite being rejected constantly by women of all ages. If you think that I give you power, or if you think someone like Catman or Surviving Life gives you power, then you are very much mistaken.
That's all I really have to say about this, guys. I'm going to stop talking about my trolls now. I just thought that was really hilarious.
I'm sure you won't. Next time you feel you need to prove to yourself and your deluded handful of fans that you're in control, you'll post another video. And I have no doubt it will be about someone who is trolling, rather than someone who can repeatedly and brutally dismantle you. Until the next, and rest assured, there will be a next time. I am the Night Queen, and you know me as Lady Damocles. May the night embrace you.
Wow. Wow, she went for the jugular.
And apparently she has like 2 master's degrees, I believe.
Yeah. So all hail the Night Queen.
Someone like that. If I had an employee like that, honestly, I would hire them in a heartbeat. I would keep them on board.
I would make them this. I would be like, you know what? You can run my company.
Of course, you would let her run your company. You have a thing for her mystery.
You shut your hole.
No, my hole is very nice, and I will not shut it. That sounded terrible. I'm not going to ever say that again.
You're just giving me live stream fuel is all you're doing.
Didn't I tell you yesterday that my middle name is awkward?
Yes, I know. But I'm just saying, I could just go into Hatman's stream now and just be like, so, how's that pretty little hole?
And that would fuel them even more too, so. Especially Mr. K, as I'll refer to him as.
Mr. K?
Mr. K.
Oh, Mr. K. Oh, I know. That's the other reason. Because for some reason he gets so jealous, and I don't understand why.
Well, everyone loves a little bit, a little bit of Miss Whiplash.
It goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way, in all the right ways.
Good thing
When
for
you said a little,
Widow.
Yeah. What?
Me?
No, he was talking to me.
Oh yeah, and I interrupted him like an asshole.
I was just saying, good thing for you. You're saying a little bit goes a long way, and I said, good thing for you, buddy.
Well, you know what they do say, it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean.
He has nothing else to point at me about, so he's just going to take a stab at that. So
yeah, I'm just staying there out because I figure anything else I say at this point could be incriminating.
Well,
he's jealous, is what it is.
Okay, but him insulting your size kind of makes me feel like at some point you guys maybe tried to like windmill or sword fight at some point.
No,
No.
Never.
Because I've heard some stories about people.
But dude, she doesn't hold back. Go to her, dude. Go to her channel. Go to her channel and watch it. I mean,
dude, yeah, seriously, when she was talking about his martial arts skills, I was laughing because that one video he said he was like, I got 15 years experience in martial arts. And when someone says that, you're thinking, okay, this guy should be like top notch badass, especially
right.
if he's supposed to be training as much. He's like, I'm like 6'3", I weigh 250 pounds, been training in martial arts for 15 years, and no dojo he was like, I've had to leave different dojos because they can't really handle me, which is taken straight from a Master Ken episode where he's like, no dojo can hold me, and it's kind of like you go watch his videos of his martial arts skills, and I'm going, man, I'd put like one of our 8-year-old green belts up against him at my dojo.
I'm pretty sure his skills came from just watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm pretty sure.
He admits just watching videos and doing it. It's like you can't do that.
No, you can't. But no, that's one reason. She just does not let go. I'm telling you, she, like, when I first started watching her videos, like when she was pointing him out, oh my god, like I could be having a really crappy day, and I'd come home and see that she had posted, and I'd be like, oh. And then just listening to her rip into somebody was just, it was too good to pass up.
Yeah, she gave him, she ripped him a new one in that. And honestly,
go watch the rest of them. I'm telling you, she'll go after him, and she won't let up. I mean,
good. Someone should, because he's an awful person. And when you told me like some of the stuff he was advocating and like the crap that he does to people, like he doxes them, it's just like, man, come on, dude, that's not your place.
No, he just, he wants to believe that he has some type of control. He wants to believe that he has some kind of power. And he has done. And he knows it. And he hates it. So I don't condone doxing. But I mean, apparently, in his opinion, turnabout is fair play. So, honestly, YouTube is a much better place without him.
Uh-huh.
Does he still have a channel?
No, he does, but it's never used.
Well, that's because he got grounded. But
What?
he lives with his parents. He literally got like someone called his dad, and yeah, he got grounded.
We don't know if it was just the internet that was taken from him or if it was his whole computer. We believe it's his whole computer. But rest assured that if he ever decides to rear his ugly little head back around, people are waiting. People are waiting for him. They're waiting patiently for him, and he knows it because he knows that the second he comes back, he's immediately going to get destroyed. Like he'll if this is what'll happen. He'll try to make some kind of comeback. He'll he'll say, "Oh, that was my bad, and I shouldn't have been doing all of this." And or no, he won't even do that. What he'll do is,
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not gonna do that.
no, he's not going to do that. He thinks he's too good to have to apologize for being a creepy pedo douchebag. But he will come back, and he was like, "Hey, I know I've been gone for a while, but I had to, had a bunch of stuff go on, and I had to take care of it, and things just happened that way."
See,
And
I'm sorry. Go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
so yeah, and then give it a week or less, and his and all his little cronies will come back, and it'll start right back the same way that it was before, and it'll be the same shit show, and it'll just get worse and worse, and then eventually the doxing and all of that will, his so-called little army or followers or nut huggers or whatever you want to call them, they'll start slowly resurfacing, and it'll turn back into the same thing. And within several months, he'll end up he'll end up grounded again, or maybe his parents will lock him in a mental institution where he solely deserves to be.
Well, and I'm wondering if the dude's got he's obviously got some type of mental health issues going on.
That's no excuse.
No, it's not. But he's got. I'm wondering if he's got some type of. I mean, he's got some type of narcissism. I can't diagnose him because I'm not a therapist. But he's definitely got some severe issues.
And because I mean, I've done, I've had a little bit of experience with family members having various mental illnesses. As soon as his parents couldn't control him and he became abusive to them, they should have put him in a home. Honestly.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you, the only interaction he ever had with me before he got grounded was a very witty comment that he did not like about him needing to get his throat ready for prison.
Oh, gosh.
So no, I don't think it was his throat that should have been getting ready for prison.
He needs to get ready to take some deep throat action, because that isn't the only hole that they're gonna tear up, but it'll be one of them.
Oh yeah. Well, he's gonna get his ass. He's gonna get his ass kicked someday by someone. And I'm not. Let me go ahead and say this just in case he comes across this broadcast. Someone's gonna kick his ass someday, and not because I'm advocating it. I don't want someone to do it, but he's gonna piss off the wrong person, and that it's not gonna be It's not going to be pretty. And when I saw that video of him going after his father the way he did, I would have been like, dude, that is uncalled for, man.
He hit his mom too.
Oh yeah, that guy. I mean, he should have been kicked out of his house at that point for the physical and verbal abuse. And because when you look at it, the guy is not. He's not terrible. And hear me out when I say the whole thing. When you look at him, he's not like. He doesn't look like Quasimodo. He's not.
No, he does.
He's an average-looking guy.
No, he's not.
He looks like he's pregnant.
But if he were to work on himself and work on having better social skills, I mean, and when it comes to the world of dating, if you're like 6'3" for a lot of women, you could be like the dude with like the ugliest mug, and the fact you have that height puts you in a whole new category for a lot of women, especially in the town that I live in. And he could wind up dating. He could have some seriously good relationships with women that are age appropriate if he worked on improving his character. But yet, time and time again, he's proven he doesn't want to do that. So when he talks about being alpha male and everybody else is betas, it's like, dude, that's like, he's like taking a page out of the whole incel book and he's regurgitating.
Well, and he also has made videos where, like, say the instance where he DM'd a cosplayer, and he expected like a response from her. He expected her to give him attention. Like, he expects women to kowtow to him, essentially. And it's hard to get that incel mentality out of somebody. You know, usually when someone's an incel, they're an incel pretty much the rest of their lives. So I don't think there's any way to reform him, because I mean, you see all these guys and they just never get out of it.
Well, there is a way to reform. The only reason why I know this is because I watched. There's a video on YouTube that is, and there's an entire Reddit thread, and they were asking people, former incels, what made you stop, and most of those incels, every single story that
because they probably wanted to get laid.
Well, every single one of the stories, it all started with the individual. It was, I realized that my problem was me. I was the reason why I was not getting dates. I was the reason why I was not getting laid. And it was, everything came back to the person. And honestly, that's what I would say to someone like Jared, is the reason why you're not having quality relationships is because of you. And that's one of those things in this day and age. It's like, how dare you say that to me? And people get all pissed off, and people want to dox you for it. They want to ruin your life for telling them something that, quite frankly, I don't think anybody else in his life is telling him.
I agree.
And I mean, a lot of people don't realize too, because, you know, especially from like my perspective, I had a very horrible life. And, you know, at some point I realized I didn't want to be like feel like an angry kid, like an angry and hurt kid anymore. And ultimately the only person that could fix you is you. Like, you could talk to professionals to help you along with it, but you have to want it. Like, you have to ultimately want to fix yourself.
And that's very true as well. But he's never going to apologize. He's never going to he's never going to think that he's done anything wrong, and everybody's just against him, and poor pitiful me, and, you know, blah blah blah, kiss my ass, yakety schmackety. He deserves to be in jail for the absolute rest of his pathetic little existence. And he's honestly, he talks a bit. All he does is talks a big game, and he thinks he's got all these little helpers, but it's just people that despise him and, you know, want to see him screw up and screw his life up, and that's exactly what he's done. That is exactly what he's done. And you know what? Honestly, when he got that last channel taken down, and then got grounded, it was one of the most brilliant things that I had absolutely ever seen in my entire life. I almost had to applaud him for his stupidity because he just all he wanted was just start a bunch of garbage. That's all he wanted to do. And then it came back and it bit him in the ass, and he was just like, poor pitiful Jared. Like, shut the fuck up.
And unbeknownst to him, not dragging anything onto this channel, he has a cute little protege.
What?
We'll talk about him after it's over.
Yeah. Like, I'm not dragging him onto this channel, but he literally is seeming like he's taken a chapter and just amplifying it from Jared.
Golly.
Yeah.
So
But it's gonna get better before it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, and see, so something I always wanted to talk about. One of the things I've noticed lately, and this has kind of been something that has been brewing, but I've really noticed over, especially recently, like it used to be if you were personally insulted in person or online, you would be like, oh, okay, well, that person's just a douchebag, and you move on and don't do anything beyond that. You would fantasize possibly about getting back at them, but you wouldn't actually do anything. And now, if people get insulted online, they are now going, and if they can somehow find out who you are, they are now going and trying to find who your employers are through Facebook. They can't do that. They're going on your LinkedIn and other social media and trying to find out who your employers are, and then contacting your employers trying to get you fired. And so it's almost like, oh, this person insulted me or this person disagreed with me on something. They must be fired. I must ruin their lives. And it's just like we've got a level of vindictiveness in this society where it's like, look, if you're going to ruin anybody's life, if you're going to really try to take someone down, don't do that because someone said something you didn't like. Someone called you fat, or they called you skinny, or anorexic, or whatever the case may be. Or they called you dumb, stupid, or whatever. Don't pull that nuclear option on people like that. Pull your nuclear option on people who are truly deserving of that.
I don't want to talk about Facebook, and I'm very mad at Facebook.
Or where you put in timeout, Facebook timeout as well?
No. Facebook switched a bunch of my stuff around that they weren't supposed to.
Ooh.
Yeah, you were supposed to get in contact with her about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm that person, by the way.
Oh, my bad. It's like the only thing.
Oh no, you're fine.
The only thing I could really think of to do with that would be to contact Facebook security, because they're the only ones who have control over any of that.
And see, I haven't really found like a link to do that, but like what was weird was a lot of my pictures that I never used as like a cover photo or like a profile picture or anything, like it literally didn't even have privacy settings on the photo for me to change it. I had to delete them all.
And all that stuff's supposed to be like something Facebook is screwed up.
So I don't know. Like I tried to like report that someone was seeing something they're not supposed to be seeing, and they were just like, "Oh, just private it." And I was like, "Well, bitch, it was private." I'm not dumb.
Right? Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up for the night. It's getting a little early, and we're going to talk a little bit. But I do hope everyone enjoys the stream when you get to hear this. And make sure to hit that subscribe button, the like button, turn on the notifications, all that good jazz. TF and I should be back this coming Saturday with Stew Dog, and we all three are going to have a very interesting show. I'm not going to announce who we will be having on. I want it to be a very big surprise. So everybody just watch the Discord if you're a member of the Discord, and I will possibly be announcing it there just a little early, but maybe not. I haven't decided yet. But I do appreciate, once again, the support as always. TF, thank you for hanging out early this morning. And the lovely Mistress Razz, you are always welcome here as well. You guys have anything to say before we get out of here?
I'm good.
I don't really have anything. Well, I could think of witty things, but it wouldn't be PG, so I'm just gonna leave it out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate it. And until this coming Saturday, peace be with you.